I told Sharron, I says, well, I'm not gonna be worried about that. I says, when we get word that we have to move, we'll go find us a place to rent. Well, here come March of this year, 2019, we got word that they were wanting to sell the house again, and they wanted us out by the end of April. Well, we looked high and low in this town for a place to rent, and they was wanting so much for deposits, and everything, and then pet fees and non-refundable monies and stuff, and it was just too much for us to pay. So we're still looking and trusting the Lord to find us a place. And we'd have been into a little mobile home court where Bobby Joe found a little van, and he managed to purchase that. But there was a little mobile home there on the lot 30 that was for sale, but we still really wasn't wanting a mobile home. But this trailer had been owned by a lady who was handicapped, and so it was kind of already fitted out with a ramp, and Jason, my son, was able to purchase the mobile home for a fair price, and they left all the handicap stuff in the mobile home. Well, anyway, on the last day we was moving out of the house over there on Orbeez, Sharron fell and busted her knee and blowed her shoulder all to pieces and had to have surgery. But who would have known that she was going to have to be in a wheelchair for an extended period of time, and was going to need a ramp on that home. And sure, well, the trailer's got a 20-foot ramp on the front of it to get into the front door. So who only knew that we was going to need a ramp to get into our house, except the good Lord himself, and there he provided a place for us to live. So we don't have that expense of building a ramp and all that other stuff, so we're good to go. Thank the good Lord for that, because he does provide what we need, and he knows what we need prior to our needing it. So so I'm thankful for that. He's always got our back. I used to have my watch hanging on the front of me and a cross on my back on a lanyard. Some guy asked me why I was wearing a cross on my back. I said, well, God's got my back. Sure enough. Okay, it's all yours, hon.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you, the ones that are here, and since this is going to be on YouTube, I'd like to thank the ones that are not here for your prayers, the visits, the little gifts, strawberries, puzzles, which I went crazy doing puzzles, Betty, and Bill, I love the strawberries. I tried to make them last longer, but in 2 days they were all gone, as much as I love strawberries. Bobby Joe, the little tiny flower you give me, the flower, I couldn't keep it alive. Truman kind of left it in the car, but I do have the little cup, and I look at but just everything that you guys have done, all the prayers, the stuff you have sent my way. And so I will begin by also want to thank you, Pastor Shane, for allowing me to do this. And I'll do it I prayed last night the Lord to help me, because I'm not used to talking. Pastor says I could talk, but me, I'd rather be singing. But I'm going to start after that. My story began the 1st of March, as Truman said, when we found out we had to move. Well, here we go again, I thought we were kind of good to go. I guess I kind of just sort of went back to, this is my place, my grandkids, all the only place they knew where Mima lived. But we would always be there, so we'd be there for a long time. But as it comes, the Lord saw, He kept us there for a while. But then after a while, I lost my place. Can't even remember right. That's bad. But I believe we were thankful for that, but I believe now that we may have took it for granted, basically, that we would always be there. We would never have to move. This would be home, even though we were renting, it would be home for, the rest of our days and place for grandma, or the grandchildren to come. But the Lord seemed different. I saw that maybe we were taking it for granted. And so begins my story. Truman and I, from the day one, the 1st of March, we started looking from sun up to sundown, after dark. Sometimes we wouldn't get home till maybe 10 at night because we'd be looking all over the place. Could not find nothing. As Truman said, the cost of stuff. There was a few places we thought maybe, but we'd come back, just nothing. I can't hold this up here. Maybe I need that table so I could turn my pages. Or you can.
Let me know.
All right. And we didn't know what we were going to do, and we were giving it to the Lord, but then turn around and taking it back. Mostly me. I was pushing myself because I was sick with bronchitis, but I knew we had to get this packing done. We didn't know how to do that because we were used to the Navy packing this and everything, and just didn't know what we were going to do. I pushed myself so far with the bronchitis I had, I ended up back in ER, and they put me in a hospital with pneumonia as well. And while I was in the hospital, come April, first week of April, Jason came down, because he had planned, all the boys knew, and they were trying to help us find a place. Jason came down to help us pack and move, but there was nowhere to go. So we had, I found a couple of places, but we thought maybe we could get, but that was not what the Lord wanted for us just yet. So while in the hospital, Truman and Jason kept looking. After 2 or 3 days of Jason being there, a place was found, as Truman mentioned, over on Palafox at the trailer park. But who would know but the Lord that that's where we were supposed to be? Only Him. We didn't know. We'd been over there looking at the place. I didn't see the place up for sale or nothing. But, and then they came back, had told me, but, let's see, okay. I lost my place. Okay, looking up to the door, there's a ramp that was going up to the door, a room enough for me to get around in with no wheelchair and a walker, as well as a hospital bed and other needs. But who would know but the Lord Himself? He knew what we were eating. And Jason was able to buy the place for us. God blessed Jason before he came down by letting him sell some of his properties, his triplexes stuff, and he was able, when he got down here, to help us, to bless us with a place so we would be out on streets or whatever. And it was all a part of God's plan, all of this. We are, we're all human, and when we are down in the valley, we tend to let things like worry, fear, doubtfulness overwhelm us and everything. But we're, as we said, we're all human, and when we get blinded by all of these things, and we seem to get off the narrow road onto that wide road, while all the while God has it in control. But we were not listening very well. We were trying to do our own thing, But He lets us, His sheep, wander for a while till His right timing, and that's when He reaches out His hand to get hold of them. So that's kind of what, he's done. After a week, I came home. Jason and his brothers are doing a complete home makeover of the place he had bought for us. It's also a big, big downsizing on our part. I don't know how bad it affected Truman, but it really was a major meltdown to me, getting almost 50 years of getting rid of things that I collected, things that I just loved, things that kids made, what have you. So I'm encouraging you, those that are married, if you ain't gone through that yet, start going through your stuff so you don't have to go through that, because this is a big, big major meltdown for you if you're like, sentimental and like I am. But Jason, let's see, this brings me to Jason's final. Well, I can't see the light up here. I'm sorry.
Oh, it says, Jason finally lets us meet.
Oh, yeah,
see her.
after Jason did all the makeover of the house, trailer and stuff, I didn't know what it looked like or anything except from maybe outside. He didn't want me to see, and I'd heard all these stories about trailer parks, living in trailer parks, and I said, oh man, what am I in for now?
It's
But
a nice place. It's quiet.
actually, when Jason did allow me, after he'd done the decorating and the remodeling and stuff, the new floors and just walls painted, everything, just total makeover. And it's really a nice little place and comfortable. We were able to keep our little dogs and not much of a yard. I had to leave a lot of my plants and my flowers back at the old place, but that's just, I've got to give me a big garden up there. Maybe I can hop all of the things that I had to leave behind, leave there. But I got to spend 2 days and 2 nights there at the trailer. For on the 30th, first of all, April, Bobby Joe, Truman, and myself that morning went over for the very last day to do cleaning up the place that we were moving out of. Let me turn my page so I don't get lost again. We were not there very long. They were outside and I was inside. Truman said he had not want me to come, but I did not hear that, or maybe I just gapped him up, I don't know, but I went anyway. I got up to go to the kitchen, and on my way, when I got up, I got lightheaded. I proceeded to trip over the weed eater that he had left in the entranceway. I knew I was gonna fall, so.
Let me state that I put it against the foyer closet door where there's about 2.5 feet to get through there, but she managed to trip over the weed eater anyway.
So down I come on the entranceway of the full door as you come in, my knee first, and then I tried to use my shoulder to protect my head because I am on blood thinner and a heart patient. Well, my shoulder got used, but however, I still come down right on my face, left a big knot and everything, no breaking of skin there, thank the Lord. But Truman, I hollered, Truman and Bobby Joe, they come in, they could barely get in because of the way I was laying between the entranceway and the kitchen halfway. And they managed to get in. Truman reached out, told me to get up. I said, I cannot. I am hurt too bad. But they were able to get me to the recliner, get it over some, close enough to me to help me get up in that. Then they Truman called 911, and they came and got me. On the 8th, they took me there. They sent me home after about 6 hours, 7 hours. And then let's see, I found out after 6 to 7 hours, my left knee was totally broken too. Just, I don't know how bad shattered, it was just broke completely, could not move.
Busted the kneecap in two.
My shoulder was totally shattered. There was
Broken 4 places.
4 places it was. And I did have the big knot on my head. And but they sent me home with a thing on it. On the 8th of May, I had surgery on my knee and shoulder. I was afraid, I didn't know, but, I was angry too, a lot angry at Truman because he put that weed eater, and I just thought, well, why you put that there,
I didn't want to.
Someone's gonna fall, and lo and behold, it was me that fell, and I was so angry, but I come through the surgery. On the 10th of May, they took me over to Olive Branch that evening. And I was all the way over there from Sacred Heart to the place. I was angry. I was just, I don't want to go here. I don't want to be here. I don't like this place. I didn't like, I don't know, just did not like it. I was angry with everybody. To be there. Truman had to come in later on that night and spend the rest of the night with me because I was so angry and just could not sleep. I was just, I don't know, I could hear people in the hallway talking, laughing, and there's a nurse running around with rollers in her hair, and I said, what kind of a place am I in, What is this? They took me to wait, They took me to weigh me in this place, to weigh me in this room. And it was a storeroom. And I said, is this where I gotta stay? No, this is your, and then they took me in this little room. And it was, private, but as I said, Truman had to come and stay with me. After being there for a while, I settled down, but was still anger going on in me. Something bad, I just, why me, Lord? Why this, why that? I don't know, I was just blaming everybody. Maybe I was even blaming the Lord, I don't know. I just really, but then after about 3 weeks of being there, things started changing, and my anger was still with me, but I was getting better. And was walking and would maybe soon go home, I thought. But I was not sure because it was supposed to be a rehabilitation, but I thought it was like maybe going to be like a nursing home and I'd have to be there the rest of my life. And I know I was not going to be there. I would not be there. But anyway, there was nobody coming up Truman and the boys came, and I just didn't know what to do. I just was so angry. Anyway, 3 weeks to being there, I was doing good. I was walking, therapy was helping me. I was walking with a little mega walker, the little small one, doing real good, and I got kind of really, oh, look at me, I can really, I could do this, so. I'm sitting one day, the therapist come in, Christian, and she come in too, so it's time for you to go. But then she forgot and left her gate on the other patient she went to see, and had to go back and get her. I said, okay, I'll be right here. So I proceeded, I said, I can get here from the bed to the wheelchair, no sweat, no problem, I could do this, So I proceeded to get up, I go. Wheelchair's locked down sideways. There's a little desk thing there at the back of it, and okay. But as I started to go around front to sit down, my brace, the one I have on right now, caught somehow in the wheel of the chair, and I proceeded to lose my balance, I went down, cut the corner edge of that desk thing, split open my chin. I don't know how many stitches, I don't even remember how many was put in that. I've got a scar there now, one more thing to go along with all my wrinkles.
Beauty mark.
But looked down and there's a puddle of blood about the size of a dinner plate. And I seen that and I screamed, you know, and the nurse came in and I got, you know, they came in and they lifted me up, but as I was saying, I thought I could do this all on my own, get up and go. But there's this old saying, pride comes before your fall. You know, and I was trying to, you know, I could do this. I didn't even know how, you know, I could do this. But it turned out, my pride got the best of me. And as I'm talking even now, there's a song that I've told Pastor Shane that's in the hymnal. I finally figured out I can't even walk without you. I think, you know, I thought I could do all on my own and all that, you know. And I think the name is I Can't Even Walk Without You Holding My Hand.
Yeah.
That song was one of the songs that I think about every time I think of what I did. Wrong action, thinking I was too prideful, could do, and it didn't happen. I should have waited, but I didn't. And so, I thought, let's go back to they came in, the nurse did. They brought in, they couldn't get me up. They got this thing, put me under me, and they lifted me up with some kind of, I don't know what you call it. I felt like I was flying around in the air, and I said, Lord, where am I going now? And they put me over in my bed, and next thing I know, I'm going to the hospital again. And I stayed there for a few days after, you know, my surgery. I had second surgery on my shoulder because I busted open my knee, re-broke it, re-shattered my shoulder. Second surgery on knee and shoulder. I come through it and everything. But, okay, where I'm at here now, I lost.
Well, on her first surgery, she had about 27 stitches in her shoulder and 22 in her knee. I don't know how many they put in her knee the second time, but her shoulder ended up with about 47 stitches in it.
In my shoulder.
So, and Kirby Turnage, the surgeon, said it was like putting Humpty Dumpty back together, but he managed to do it anyway, you know, so.
But,
it's a miracle she's even got her knee and her arm.
so anyway, but after that, they sent me back over to Olive Branch. It was a little better there, but I was still filled with anger and stuff, and just, you know, I kind of stayed in my room. I ate my breakfast in the room. It was cold when it'd bring to me. I wouldn't eat it. Try but wouldn't. And then I just got, you know, it was just really, it put me down. It's changed me in a lot of ways, you know. And I thank God that He did put me down when I fell. It was like He brought me to that point when I fell that second time, and He already knew what was going to happen, but He seen how prideful I was being, and He said, I got to put you down, girlfriend. And He put me down. I mean, He literally put me down. Just really, and I know why. Sometimes, you know, He has to go a lot hard way with us to teach us to learn to trust in Him. But now I know where my trust was going to be from here on out. And I know that He cares and loves me. I could have died right then and there, but I did not. He just needed to put me down to where he wanted me, and I had nowhere to go but to him. So that's where I am. After the second surgery, like I said, I went back. Anger's still in me. I was in there. Where am I at, Truman?
You said
Yeah.
there for a while, and everything I had, what,
Oh, okay. I was there in the second surgery, and I said, gosh, I'm going to be here for a while. Everything I had planned, I was wanting to do, you know, coming up, our anniversary, trying to do things the way I wanted, the trailer stuff, all those things that I was wanting to do, me. I could not do, you know. I had to tell Tina and them the wedding thing, funds were all, there was not going to be one. I didn't, no, you know, so, but, because I was going to be there for a while. And I was. And there's let's see. And even now, there's a song there's another song. There's that one song and this other song. He'll make it all a blessing, which I've sung here before. And there's been a lot of blessings in this journey that I've gone through. 5 months. It's still it'll still be a long road, probably till the beginning of next year, they say, possibly. I got infection in my knee after the second surgery. I could not walk at all. I had no weight to put on my leg or on my arm. I had to sleep with a sling on my arm. Finally that was lifted off, but I still had to keep it on. I'm able to not have to wear it now, and it's getting better. But I'm turning way over here. Much life has really changed. I've come a long way, like I said. The next visit brings more heartache, and that's when I found out I had the infection in my knee, and could not walk and nothing, and didn't know, well, you know, why. That stopped me. Okay, where am I at? As the days and weeks went by, though, I was still angry, still full of anger and everything. I had so much anger in me. I mean, I just wanted to go punch him for what he did.
just put the weed eater in the house so it wouldn't get stolen.
But
My fault.
couldn't do that. He was there with me every day, every night, day and night, in the morning or whenever he could come, and he'd be there till 10. Sometimes they even gave him, you know, a way to get in and out the door if he needed to. If he was there past the time. He'd stay there with me. He'd go down, he'd have meals with me. We'd sit there, you know, he'd push me around. We'd go on our wheelchair journeys through the halls and what have you. I went on the other side where I used to be before I had in 214. And then, because I was on the south side this last time. The other time I was on the north side, and I said, well, we're the north and south. But
She decided she didn't want to be a Yankee and wanted to be a Grit. No.
and I tried to stay positive. And then Pastor Shane came one day. I was sitting in the commons area. I was sitting there with Tammy, one of the other girls, and we were just talking. And I was thinking, at that moment, I said, well, maybe, you know, I was telling her about the church, where I went, and how, you know, she wanted to know what we did. I said, we just common folks. We don't dress fancy. We don't take offering. If you feel you want to give something, that's totally up to you and the Lord.
We have offering plates in the back of the...
Yeah. So, and here I look up, and here's Pastor Shane. I guess he read my mind or something, but he come in. I introduced him to Tammy, and then she had to go or something, and there was two words that Pastor Shane said to me, and I'm still trying in my head to figure out what those two words were, but they stayed deep in with me and in my, those two words changed my heart so much. I mean, it changed everything, my outlook totally. I began to start going down to the dinner tables and visiting with people. I got one little lady, 91 years old, out of her room. She was like crammed up like a hermit and everything. Got her to coming down, and we were all having a good time, all of us. We had kind of like I was talking to people about the church, about the Lord, just things that I've never really actually done. Just really sat and talked to them about. And I started coming out of all that anger had gone. And when the new people would come in, I'd be the first one to kind of greet them if I could see them, if they're on my side of the, if not, I'd venture over to the other way and by myself, one arm, one leg, I still got that. And we all finally had this table in the dining room, table 14. And we'd all meet there and have lunch or dinner meals. And we were got known in the center as the rowdy table. We weren't, wild or nothing like that. We shared stories, we laughed, we cried. We shared real story, true life stories about ourselves, why we were there, what was going to happen to us when we left, And I said, some of those ladies, there's a couple gentlemen, one, he left before I did. Truman called him. Oh, I got to go see him, but he was there. But the ladies, there was a couple, they didn't know where they were going to be, how they were going to be took out of their home. One, their daughters wanted the home. They didn't want to be bothered with her, and she was so worried about that. They just wanted to put her somewhere. They didn't want, because they wanted the place. She left the same day I did, but she did go home. I've tried to get back with her, but I don't know what has happened with her. Some of the other ones would leave, and when one would leave, they I told Barbara, I said, okay, I'm leaving now. You got to keep this table going here, because we were lively, and everybody just knew us as the rowdy bunch. But we weren't rowdy. We'd go to activities together, movies, what have you. We really enjoyed and I made a lot of family friends there. Family. My friends at the center, my church family here. I've got all their addresses and stuff to keep contact with them. And it's just changed, everything changed in me. After those two words, Pastor, and I cannot remember what they are.
Thank the Lord.
But it just changed me completely. I don't take things for granted no more. People, anything for granted. I don't take not one thing for granted. I thank the Lord for my life, for allowing me to still be here, because I came so close to losing my leg completely. I did not know how close I was to losing my leg. I could not, probably wouldn't have made it. I don't know. Maybe I would have, but I wouldn't have been me, I don't think. Truman and the boys kind of knew people at the center, but they would not tell me. I think I could handle that if I'd lost my leg. And I'm saying losing my leg, I mean totally my whole leg. And that there is healing. This scab come up this morning. I was a little scared. It's not bleeding enough. I said it's not bleeding, it's good. I go Tuesday to have it checked, my arm. I'm walking good with my walker, everything. But I down at the center, I was talking to people about God, the church. Just, when someone would leave, I'd say, wish them best of luck and how I miss them. We'd pray at our tables. That's something else. I've never seen anybody at any other tables pray. We'd all join hands. We'd take turns praying every meal. They said, aren't we going to pray? Oh yeah, we're going to pray. Someone's going to do it. Or one of us will. We took turns, and sometimes Truman was there. Oh, they fed Truman like a king. I mean, he didn't have to pay $8 for a meal, which wasn't really worth that.
Sit at the table and it's,
They make sure, but he pushed them around, the little ladies back to their rooms. I know, go get them sometimes. He'd come to the events, the activities. We had ice cream day on Fridays, nail spots day on Wednesdays, which I missed because I couldn't ever afford to have my nails done. Because I did it myself, and I'd paint my whole fingers. But movie day, he'd come to a lot of the things. We had a wheelchair parade down to both sides.
on the 4th of
A
July.
lot of blessings and stuff there. I made a lot of friends. Then we're coming to July. I was still a little upset about not being able to do what I would like to done for our 50th anniversary. The wedding I had kind of talked about with Tina and Susan, and I was going to have everybody, my family and everybody, my kids. But, I said, well, okay, Lord, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to make the best of it. So instead of locking myself in my room, which I couldn't, and staying in there, I said, okay, Truman, bring me this dress from the house. I'll put it on, and would you spend the day together? So, hey, she got the dress, brought it in. There wasn't nothing fancy or anything. And then it kind of got around the center because everybody knew me on both sides, the nurses, the therapists, and everything. And the activity director, Sharron, her name was, between her and Truman, and I think he may have talked to Pastor, they kind of planned a little anniversary wedding there at the center, which was so, cool. Truman had contacted the lady does my hair. She did my hair, came in there on her day off and did my hair for me. And then I went, well, I'll just wear this dress, that he brought. And I go in my room and hanging up is this dress. One of the therapists, the OP, occupational therapist, she had gone out. She said she had said I could wear. And she'd bring it in. But then I found out later from another one, therapist, and on the other side, that she went out and bought that dress. The shoes I have on, she bought some jewelry to go with it, and I was just flabbergasted to see that. I wasn't expecting nothing like that. And then when they did a little celebration in the fellowship hall, and the activity director, pastor was there. We redid our vows. Truman and I did renew our vows for 50 years. Bill was there, Bobby Joe, Sheila, Carl, Debbie, Pastor, Jara, Betty. Did you come? Yes, you were there. There's so many people from the center, all different sides. They all knew, and they were all there. The twins were there with their dad. Travis was there, and Ashley, and their babies. So it was really turned out not what I wanted, but even better, something more meaningful to me than what I was wanting to try to do. And like I said, the Lord, He knew all of this was happening. I did not know. And I thank Him every day of my life when I get up for me still having my leg, for the life and the change that it's made in me. So I don't know if I have taught, you got learned anything from what I've said. If not, I want to say to you that, I got sidetracked there, but that's okay, I guess. But, after I got to walking, was able to walk a little bit, I was walking about a week or so. And then I was able to go, I was asking one of the nurse there, so you think you're gonna let my meeting, you're gonna let me go home after that meeting that day? She said, well, that's what we got scheduled. And I thought, for real? Are you for real? You're telling me for real I can go home? I said, yeah. And man, I just let out the biggest, thank you, Jesus. I mean, the whole unit there, that side, they come, what's wrong? Because they all knew me. And then I was about ready to go down for lunch. And I was wheeling myself down there because Truman hadn't got there. And this one man, he's a maintenance of somebody. I was crying all the way down. I was, thank you, Lord, for changing me. I was going down, I turned a corner, I had this little track, I played like as a race car driver, I whiz around it and everything, sort of just to make fun for myself. And he saw, what's wrong, why are you crying? Are you okay? I said, yes, I'm fine. He said, well, why are you crying? I said, I'm going home. He's just a maintenance man, and he said, you scared me down. I thought there was some. I said, no, these are tears of joy, and I cried so much that day. I called Truman, I told him, I'm going home, coming home. I called Jason, I called Travis, I called little Truman. I sent them texts. They said, that's awesome. I have now been home, going on about close to maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm not quite sure. I lost kind of track. I did leave on the 8th. It was the 8th of August. And so I'm here today to give this testimony or journey. I still got a long ways to go, I know. But I know now who I need to depend on. And that's my Lord Jesus. And he's the only one that's going to be there for you. You might think you could do something on your own, but let me tell you, think before you act. Learned it from someone that thought they were so prideful and everything, and they could do this. I don't need your help. I don't need this, And I still get a little aggravated at home because I love to do stuff, but Pastor told me, slow down and time, but I'm kind of, I can't, I'm doing things. I get back to what I was doing here. I miss doing that so much. But think before you act on anything. Stop and think. Now, am I doing the right thing? Is this going to harm me? Is this going to help me or harm me? Is this what the Lord wants me to do? Or am I being prideful? I'm doing it because I thought I am number one and I could do it all on my own. I can't do anything without Him holding my hand and leading me. He's got to lead me. And if you don't, and you try, He's going to let you stray for a while, and then eventually you're going to get on that narrow, wide path off the narrow to the wide, and eventually He is going to reach. He's not going to forsake you. He's just going to let you wonder and think, and that's what He's done with me. Because I appreciate even little things, just the smell of fresh cut grass. People in cars are poking along. Children get angry. I said, honey, they're just, they're, just be thankful you're able to drive. You're here. I'm thankful to be here for my grandbabies, to see them grow up. My great grandbabies, I've got 2 now. just thankful for my family here. My aunt, my brother, my sister, my brother, I haven't seen him 5 years, but I'm going to go hunt him down. He may get a gun, but the Lord will be there between me and him and that gun. He may not want me there, but I'm going. I'm gonna see him. He's 74, and I got to see my brother. I don't know how much longer he'll be there. It's just him, Sheila, and myself now. That's all that's left of us and my immediate family. So, just think, and I hope you guys have learned something. If not, I'm glad to be able to tell my story. Pray for me for Tuesday, that everything's great when they do x-rays. I can get this thing off because I don't sleep well at night, honestly. It's hard to sleep with this on, and not be able to sleep on your side either way. But I guess that's about the last I could tell you. I really have more, but I don't take up all day long. I know people want to get home and have dinner and have lunch. But I thank you again, Pastor, for letting me do this. And I was a little nervous, but I prayed about it, and I got off track with my notes. I used to take notes, but I did, but it didn't help me much. I had to keep looking where I'm at. But we serve an awesome God, and He's there for us. He's the same today as He was yesterday, and He'll be the same tomorrow. He will be there. He may not seem like it. You have to call out. Sometimes you have to call out. And the only place He puts you down, and one place you've got is to look up and say, Lord, okay, I get it. You're in control. Show me what I need to do. And that's what I have to do now. And I've learned that. I've learned to try to keep my patience, which is very thin. Sometimes with Truman, as long as we've been married, but I don't think he's aggravated with me. I get aggravated because I can't do, and I feel like he's been doing for me for so long. I need to do for him, but in time. I love you all. I thank you for all the prayers. Just continue. I still got a long journey to go, probably till the beginning of next year, possibly. And just pray for me. Pray for Bobby Joe. I'm really concerned. He's my Indian brother. I'm concerned about his legs. Pray for him. And Renee, I see the text messages. I may not answer them all, but I do see them. Just anybody in here. And now you can call me anytime, day or night, and I'll be there for you. I mean, if you guys don't know you're fixed to move, I come do something. I make sandwiches for you or something. I'll bring you sandwiches. I'll do something. I'm not going to sit back and say, might be peanut butter and jelly. Give you a mason jar with tea in it, and that's about what I got at home now. I have to be downsized a lot and send things straight away. But I do love you all. I'll see you here tonight. I'm bringing chicken rice casserole, 2 big pans of broccoli cheese.